Okay. All right. Okay.
And I got my fan running in the
All
back.
right. Hi, everybody. This is Dr. Sonia McGowan with Covenant Pediatric Wellness Center, and I'm so happy to be here with one of my very favorite people. This is Danielle Boyd, who lives just outside of Atlanta, Georgia. And hi, Danielle. Thank you for being with us.
Oh, it's a pleasure. I love talking to you.
So, just start out by telling us a little bit about you, your husband, your child, your family.
All right, so I'm Danielle. My husband's Edward. I have an 8-year-old son named Avery. And yes, we are right outside of Atlanta, Georgia. And our journey to get here has been um, well ordered and in the way it was supposed to happen. And we just have a beautiful family, a very calm house, loving. We have a great kid. And we just want to live life good and do the best for our son. So, um, yeah, we're a very simple family, but we are in the fight to get Avery the best life possible. So,
So, this almost brings me to tears just you saying it that way because Avery is not an easy kid. He's a complex guy.
mhm.
And for you to describe your family that we're loving, we're peaceful, is amazing because there are a lot of moms who would feel resentful or who would feel they would carry their grief very heavily.
Mhm.
And that's not you.
Not now. There was a small moment where I had grief, and I probably still have a little bit of it. But we have just learned to accept the journey and see Avery as Avery and autism as autism. And it really has helped our family thrive and move forward to understand that this is a real person. He's a beautiful boy. And there's just some things that go on with his body that we need to help him with. And yeah, the early journey wasn't this peaceful, but over time we realized that what he needed was a calm, peaceful health, peaceful household, regulated parents, and that has really helped him thrive in this journey that we're on.
So kind of start at the beginning and tell
Mhm.
me about Avery as a littler guy
Yes.
and what were some of the early things that made you kind of go, I'm a little worried here.
Okay. So he was born in Texas, and he was supposed to be a midwife, birth center, birth, long labor, had to transfer to the hospital, and we ended up having a C-section. So that tells you a small part of his beginning stages into this world. And from the moment we had a okay birth, okay C-section, but within that first week, we had feeding issues. We were dealing with a kid that could keep his head up. At an infant, he was holding his head up. He was such a tight baby. And that kind of just within that first week, we were in the car going to get body work so that he could go and get his frenectomy done. And early on, they were saying he was such a tight baby, very tight, very rigid baby. And I instantly knew that something could have been off with him just based on our first couple of weeks of life. Um, that was Avery. He was still calm. He was still peaceful. um, but we knew something was off from the time he came out of the womb. And I don't know if that's my past history or if that's just because of the birth that he had. Um, yeah, that was our first couple of weeks was just in and out of getting some
Yeah.
body work done so that he can get all of his points of attachment released.
Uh-huh. And
Yes.
did you find that having his oral restrictions released helped with feeding and the rigidity and the tone?
Yes. Well, the body work did. We were able to successfully breastfeed until 14 months. So that was a journey that I fought for because of the birth experience that I had. I was like, well, I'm going to at least get the, the breastfeeding done. So it definitely helped, but that first week and what went on really set the tone for the rest of his journey because we were connected to the right practitioners. It's like the right place at the right time, the right connection that led you somewhere else, that led you somewhere else. So I definitely believe some of that early work, the release, definitely helped him get his body a little bit less rigid.
And so as time went on, you started noticing some additional things too that led you down the diagnostic path.
Yes.
What sorts of things were you seeing?
So again, very tight kid. We didn't get a whole lot of cooing, not a whole lot of babbling, not a whole lot of movement, not trying to roll over. I think this was in the first couple of months, you're supposed to be able to roll over, not being able to put your head down when he was on his tummy. So it was those early signs that we were like, I don't think this is the way it's supposed to be. I think at a certain month, you're supposed to be able to pull your kid up and the neck is supposed to follow in line.
Yeah.
He wasn't doing that. He didn't have any core strength. So it was actually our pediatrician that had some concerns with CP, cerebral palsy. And that kind of alerted us to some things. And then as the months gone on, he just continued to miss milestone after milestone after milestone, or had to be taught how to do certain things like roll over or sit up. It just, your kid's on the bed and he'll just stay there. He'll just stay there. He won't try to roll. He won't try to get off. So it was very early on within the first couple of months that I knew something was up.
Yeah.
Something was up.
And how did you feel about that? Were you like a let's go after this head on kind of a person, or were you it's okay kind of a person?
Oh, no.
I know the answer.
That I started Googling. I was like, okay, well, what is he supposed to be doing? Okay, he's supposed to be doing this. And somehow, again, everything connects. Reading about this, saw a video on this. I said, we're going to start this therapy. We're going to start movement therapy, and not Beniel, I think, is the method that we came across. I just Googled it and a video came up, and I looked for practitioners in our area that were able to do some body work on him. And I think within the first, at 8 months, maybe is when I started seeing her. And that is when I noticed the difference between him becoming a very rigid baby to becoming more relaxed and loose and probably a little bit more floppy. He went from one extreme to the next extreme, but there was a visible difference. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
And so when did the concerns about autism come up?
So we went from Texas to Charlotte. We were in some job transitions for my husband. So we went from Texas to Charlotte, and through the Not Beniel method, I found another practitioner in Charlotte. So when we got to Charlotte, we did that. We did private PT, and he also connected us to MNRI therapist as well. It's so, and then we also did a babies can't wait evaluation. And they kind of noted it on his form that the lack of skills could be related to autism. And within that year that we were in Charlotte, I started looking up autism and what can we do about it. And that was 2018. He was born in 2017. 2018 is when I started looking into it. And we found out we were going to go to Atlanta in 2019. Atlanta was having a TACA conference.
I was there.
It was their last conference before the pandemic.
Yeah.
And as we were looking for homes in Atlanta, I said to my husband, we need to go. We need to go. We need to go. And I remember the practitioner was like, you think he has autism? I say, yes, because he wasn't crawling. He was late to sit up. He wasn't pulling to stand. He wasn't walking. We were significantly delayed.
Yeah.
And we went to the conference in 2019 while we were looking for houses. And that's when my whole entire world opened up. That's where I went from a keyboard mom trying to research what to do with my son to having all of this knowledge before me, all these doctors, all these parents. It's like my world opened up and I said, oh, okay, I have resources here. And that's how it really all started, our journey. Yes.
That's crazy. I never knew you were at that conference. I was a speaker at that conference.
Were you? I'm pretty sure I have like notes or videos.
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
Gosh, what a small, like, ooh, kind of spooky, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what was it like trying to then land with a credible diagnosis for him?
So we immediately met a local doctor, the doctor that the practitioners that we went back to. We first went to, they're called the Greater Atlanta Integrative Pediatrics, your recommendation. But that's who we got connected to. And we were like, they're in Georgia. I said, okay, when we move here, we're going to go see these integrative doctors because they have kid on the spectrum too. And that's how we knew we were going to be able to get the data that we needed to start his journey. So I researched, I found them at the conference. I found our local pediatrician that I actually went to before we even moved here. And he was autism friendly, very holistic approach. Love him. He's since retired. And that's how it all kind of started. And then it snowballed from there because through those two, we got a recommendation for a developmental pediatrician that was out of pocket. And I booked with him. And as soon as we moved here, right after the conference, is when we got our diagnosis. We paid to see him, and within a month, we had our diagnosis. And through
Wow.
that, I knew that we could get services. I connected with insurance, and it was full speed ahead. So it happened extremely quick. Like my
Yeah.
son got his diagnosis before his 2.5-year birthday. Yeah.
Well, and I love how you just it is what it is. We're
Mm-hmm.
facing it head on.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get him hooked up with the right people and let's just go. Like
Yes.
there wasn't a lot of hand wringing. There wasn't a lot of, oh, this probably isn't right, or should I or shouldn't I? Like you just put your head down and you did it.
Yes. I think I was desperate to, at that age, fix him
Yeah.
and get him caught up.
Yeah.
It could have been denial, me not understanding how autism works. I said, I'm just going to get him therapies. It's okay. We're going to
Yeah.
get him the help he needs, and we'll get him caught up.
Yeah.
It was go, 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 go. That's the only thing I knew how to do was go,
Yeah.
go, go, go.
And so, how about your husband? How's he feeling through all of this?
Oh, he was in denial,
Mm,
complete denial. We both were. Autism is hard. It's not easy. We all know the challenges that marriages face, parents face. He just went through 3 moves in 2 years, starting a new career. It's you don't expect to be on this journey.
yeah.
As new parents, we would have never. I don't even think we really knew about autism.
Yeah.
Um, so it's not easy to get a diagnosis that your kid is on the spectrum and is significantly delayed.
Yeah.
Um, so it was hard. It was hard. It was challenging. Not really understanding why I was doing what I was doing, not understanding why I was taking an alternative approach in medicine to help my kid when we're traditionally, we know traditionally how we are supposed to think and how we did think. And it's a change, and it didn't go well. And then
Mm,
you can't connect with your kid because he can't talk, he can't walk. He's still a beautiful kid, but there's just a lot of disconnect. So it was hard. It was hard.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and men approach things differently. They're wired to be the problem solver, the provider. So, his mind is over here, your mind is over here, and sometimes that can be hard to
Mhm,
meet in the middle for the common
mhm.
cause.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Yes.
can I can imagine that. Did you so you really never struggled to find autism literate docs. They all just sort of lined up for you, didn't they?
They lined up and I went searching. And I
Yeah.
attribute that to the pregnancy, motherhood introduction I had. There was some complications I had that led me to the birth center, the midwives, and a different way of thinking. And so I think after that experience, before having him, I sought out people that would have a more holistic approach
Yeah.
to things. And I think that's what got my mind into let's look at this in an alternative way. And the TACA organization connected me to the right people, and the Facebook groups connected me to the right pediatrician. And it worked out in my favor. I'm very blessed because I understand that not everyone can pay out of pocket for a developmental pediatrician. I know that there's a wait list for that particular doctor if you don't go through out-of-pocket means. And I also realize that we have good insurance that cover that for us. And it's a blessing because that could have not been the case for us. And I maybe would have still been waiting a year later for a diagnosis that got me the services I needed for my son. So it worked out.
So he has a diagnosis of autism.
Mm-hmm.
No matter who you are, you have strengths and you have challenges.
Yes.
So tell me about him. What makes
Oh,
life hard? What makes life fun?
I love him. He's the coolest kid. He really is the coolest kid. And for a kid, okay, so my son is nonverbal. He's nonverbal. Nonverbal, learning to communicate, expressive, receptive language disorder, has autism, developed PANS and PANDAS recently. But we separate him. We call him, there's Avery, the kid, and then there's Oscar, the kid with autism. It's two separate kids. And so when we are going through it, we have to remind ourselves, this is not Avery. This is Oscar.
Yeah.
But he has such a great, he just has a great personality. And for someone who does not have verbal words, he has a lot to say. He just has a lot to say. His looks, his expressions, his physical actions. And he's a smart kid. He's such a smart kid. He's so feisty and opinionated. And he just loves water. He loves outdoors. He loves music. He loves food. And he's just this, and he's huge. He's going to be taller than me by the time he's 10. But he's just, and he works hard. You think us as a parent works hard. He works hard. He's been in this since he was 1 year old, and he continues to show up for therapies, and he does the work as well. And so we're just blessed with a very good kid with a great personality. He just has some challenges, and sometimes his body's on fire. And yeah.
So when his body's on fire, what does that look like?
Oh my gosh. So our PANDAS journey, we can probably officially put him in that category, started last year, and he was 7, and it got triggered by strep and histamine. And that was our first exposure. Mind you, our early blood work testing noted and indicated that he could be headed in this direction. Like from the time he was 2, he had a lot of markers that would put him in this category later on. But last year, he is when it all started. And for him at that point, it was a lot of urinary issues, a lot of not being able to calm his body down, and a lot of screaming, crying, and not really understanding his environment. He would just kind of blank out and just go into total mode. So it was hard. It was challenging because we didn't know what we were doing. We were like, whoa, what's going on? We didn't understand how to treat it. So that was last year. We got through it, and it did change his dietary, how he approaches food, how we had to change things with food. But we got through that. And then we had another round of it, and it completely changed this year. It was triggered by a cold. It's like he got it early this time, cold, and then histamine as well. And this one was bad. This one was bad because he's more cognitively he's more aware. And what was I going to say? It was more of I need some type of like a dopamine hit, and I'm going to search all around the house to try to figure out something that makes me feel okay and calm and centered. And that would be his Disney shows. He wanted a Disney movie, but then he would turn the Disney movie on, and it was dopamine overload, sensory overload, and it would calm him for a second, then send him into rage. And it was just an out-of-body experience for him, almost, of like, how do I calm myself down? What am I looking for? Okay, this is not it. Okay, I'm going to go here. And he would just pace the house up and down all day long. Yes. Yeah.
Plus, he wasn't sleeping well. He wasn't pooping well.
He wasn't sleeping. He wasn't using the restroom. Um, it was hard. That was hard. We shedded a lot of tears. That was hard.
Yeah.
And then I cried for him instead of crying for myself like I did last year. I cried for him because I could not imagine being in that state of being and not knowing how to get out of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And not being able to say, "Mom, my head hurts," or "My belly hurts," or yeah. I mean, it's a whole other level when you don't know what to do for your kid.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yes.
So, what did you do to sort of pull him out of those flares?
Okay. So we started working with you in 2023. 2024 was our first PANS year. And I remember you putting us on a protocol that included over the counter remedies to instantly get his inflammation down. And that worked the first time. And we were able to calm his body enough to get him through it and get us through the year. This year, we learned that we weren't giving enough of that protocol. We weren't doing enough. And we had to give more of the same protocol just to get his body out of fight or flight. So we did that. And mind you, at the same time, my kid was losing a tooth every couple of weeks. He has lost most of his child teeth, and I think he has 2 more left. But that would also trigger a mini flare on top of everything else. So I don't know, can I say the protocol? Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we did Genexa, not the allergy version, not the one with Tylenol. We did Genexa, and we did ibuprofen round the clock when he was in a flare to calm his body down. What also helped was through our local practitioner, we were able to get him on low dose naltrexone to help as well. And that has been also a game changer. And whenever we notice that he is having these little flares, which is frequent urination or some outburst, or even sometimes if he's not sleeping for a few days or he doesn't eat as well, if he's tired and he's hungry, we will put him on a mini protocol to get things under control. And between those 3 things, it has definitely calmed him enough to stay out of inflammation.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then approach the histamine as well.
Mm-hmm.
So whether that's Zyrtec, Ketofen, there's another histamine pill. Anything that we can do to lower his histamine levels has been helpful.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So now is he back to baseline?
Yes. And I have one more protocol.
Sure.
That first year he got it, after we got blood work, we were able to elevate his protocol. And we found that he had high strep antibodies and a whole lot of other stuff. And you put us on a DesBio protocol. And that first year was a game changer for us. Complete game changer. Like, I actually saw the physical change in his body, his demeanor, even his cognitive abilities improved when we got on that protocol for strep. And so that carried us into the next year, this year, when we had another flare. So
do you feel like you're like always waiting for the next flare?
100%. It's like PTSD. And I've tried to get a little bit better with it. But every time he's like, even for a moment, I looked to my husband and I was like, are we in another flare? Are we in another flare? And I've gotten better with it because I now know we have a protocol that can calm him down. But you're still like on edge. And I don't know if it's just he's tired or is he about to flare? And I have his school on guard. Like, everyone knows about it.
Yeah.
But you still have that PTSD when we're just sitting on the floor trying to keep the kid in the room so that he's not wreaking havoc.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're a little better now because we know we have a team of people. We have we have his local pediatrician. Like, we have a team of people that in the event that we can't get this under control, we can call and be like, what do we do?
Yeah.
Can you help us? We can endure this. We can do it. We can do it. Even if it's for 24 hours, we can do this.
This is not the parenting experience you thought you would have.
Not at all. Not at all. I thought I was going to go to like mommy and me classes and we were going to be in soccer league and
Yeah. So there has to be some grief there.
yes. All the time. All the time. I'm learning slowly to let it go and know that this is just my journey because I don't know if I would have the same household and the same connection with my son if we were just the mainstream family.
Yeah.
I think I can't say that we would have this calm household with this regulated household because I know parents that are working just as hard as we are. And it's not tit for tat, but it's like autism, you work hard. I know regular parents are working hard and they have just as much stress. It's just a little different.
Yeah.
But no, we didn't expect this, but we are in it and it's okay. I'm okay. This is just our journey.
So when you took a less mainstream approach
Mm-hmm.
to healing Avery's issues, did people around you, your family, your friends think you were a little batty?
No,
Okay.
again, I have started this process before he even got here to
Yeah.
do my own health stuff. I already had to take the gluten-free, dairy-free approach because I have my own issues. And so going down that route, it's easy for them. Oh, he's gluten-free. You don't. Yes, because I am gluten-free and I'm dairy-free. So it just naturally fell into place. There are some people who still are like, no, I want the mainstream approach, but I'm like, okay, cool, but I'm still going to do this. And I didn't have a whole lot of opposition from my immediate family. They knew that I was just trying to do the best for Avery. And when they saw Avery progressing, it was like, okay, you're doing a good job. Like, we're not gonna fight you. There's certain subjects that we still are, there's little subjects here and there that we still don't agree on, but I didn't have any pushback. And I don't think, maybe it's just because I didn't listen.
Well, sometimes you just can't. You just have to do what you think is right.
Yeah.
So a lot of kids with autism, PANS, other complex needs have what I call a wounding event. So sometimes it's the things that happen starting at birth and happening every couple months, those things.
Okay.
Sometimes it's early antibiotic exposure. Sometimes it's other things. Do you feel like Avery had a wounding event?
Can I be the wounding event?
Yeah. I
Can
mean,
my microbiome and my genetics and the way my body was when I was pregnant with him, C-section,
yeah.
position in the womb. He was
Yep.
in an asynchronic presentation. I don't even think he really moved from the one position he was at the whole entire pregnancy.
Yeah.
So all that could have played a role.
Yeah.
In how he was when he came out. It's just like a snowball.
It is like a snowball. And so it's so important for moms to understand they become their baby's nervous system. And it's, as detoxed and healthy as you can be before you conceive is super important.
It is 100%. And I'm not placing blame on myself because I didn't know. Like, I did the best I could, but like,
Right.
we don't know. I have a long history of antibiotics use, stomach issues. So like mine stemmed from years ago. But I see the picture of how this all could play out. There's two different ways that it could go. And for Avery, it just started at birth and he missed a lot between his microbiome, his gut.
Yeah.
He doesn't have some reflexes that are integrated. There's just a whole lot of steps that he missed to be where he's at today. Yeah.
So where he's at today, though, is pretty dang good.
Yeah.
Tell us the update of what he's doing, what life looks like for him.
So he is finally in school. We found a wonderful special needs school in Marietta, Georgia, and it's been a blessing. It's been a blessing to me, to our family, to Avery, to all the families that go there, and he's just thriving. He's thriving. It's amazing how far he's come. And even a year, because a year ago, I didn't know if we were going to be able to put him to school and he would be okay. He'd be regulated. He'd be able to learn. He'd be able to understand. But through our protocols, through what we implemented, how we tried to heal his body, we did enough to be able to get him to a point where I felt like he looked at me and he said, "Mommy, it's time for me to go. It's time for me to leave the house and let me go. Let me go find a place where I can be amongst my peers and I can learn and I can engage in my environment and my community." And so, yeah, he's in school and he has a routine and he gets up and he gets dressed and he eats and he goes to the car and he's like, "Let's go. Let's go." And he's doing well. He has his pandas under control for now, and everything that we're doing to calm his body is just helping him be able to learn more, to communicate better, to physically function better. We're getting some good, he's in prompt therapy for speech, and he's able to blow bubbles and do stuff that he wasn't able to do before. And it's all because we laid a good foundation over the years since birth, but even especially the past 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just doing great. He's doing the best that he can do.
Yeah.
And I can't, sometimes I look at him and I'm like, "Oh my God, how did you learn that?" We're at the point now where he can actually, his body and his mind is teaching himself how to do stuff.
Wow.
Like normal kids. And I'm like, "I didn't know. I don't remember teaching you that." No, because he learned. His body was in a good enough position where he could do it on his own and figure it out on his own.
Dang.
Yeah.
Girl, you rock. I tell you what. And so does he. And so does Edward. I mean, come on.
Guys, I could not do it without the help of you guys. I'm so thankful for your kindness and your practice and the access to testing and data and just knowledge, because we can research a whole lot, but it's good to have confirmation from a practitioner of like, what do you think we should do? And I just thank you guys. I thank all of you guys. You guys are amazing.
So if you were to talk to another parent who maybe is early in their journey, they're feeling overwhelmed, they don't know which way to go, they're hearing a lot of stuff in the media right now, like
Yes.
what would you say to another mom?
I would first say you're not alone. Everything you feel is valid and you're not alone. You're not alone. The rage, the grief, the guilt, everything. You are not alone. Please understand. You may be alone in your community and down your street, but you are not alone in what you're thinking. Trust your instincts, trust your gut, maybe turn off the TV and go find resources. Go find a community, go find a group, go join TACA. Talk to Dr. Sonia and dive in. If you are ready and you're wanting and willing, dive in. Find the local practitioner, find the virtual practitioner. If there's no one in your area, be willing to drive. If you can afford it, go. You don't even have to spend thousands of dollars. Find somebody who is willing enough to listen to you, to get the data that you need to be able to start helping your kid. And if there's something in the media that you don't like, then don't listen to it. Everyone's going to have a debate on how to treat kids and people on the spectrum. It's up to you to decide, for me personally, how you want to handle that news. And no one has to have permission to treat your child. You treat your child and trust your instinct.
You mentioned data and you also mentioned testing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one thing that we do a lot of here. We test, we don't guess.
Mm-hmm.
And we did blood work, we did urine tests, we've done all kinds of things. What was that like for you? The whole testing process, did you feel like it was valuable, that it helped us?
Yes. I think blood work is your best and your quickest way to get to where you want to go is to find a way to get blood work. That was hard because we had to either hold them down or do sedation, but still that information will give you the quickest data possible. I think we chose based on budget what was the best choices for us. And I do feel like they gave you answers. There's some tests where we tested and we found nothing. And instead of saying, oh, I wasted money, I'd be like, okay, well, we can rule that out.
Yeah.
That's cool. We don't have to worry about that right now. It just gives you a starting point of what to work on first, because we can't work on it all at the same time, but we can work on things that will have the biggest impact on the healing journey and then go from there. I think it's extremely valuable.
Yeah.
And do the testing you can that works with your budget.
Yeah. So we kind of talked about the current, autism climate politically in the media and whatever. And we were talking before we went live about how it makes me really crazy when people look at autism like it's just a quirky personality.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much more to it than that. And there are people who say that autism is not medical.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think of the whole issue around, autism is just a quirky personality thing versus the more severe, profoundly affected kids and the whole autism is or isn't medical? What do you have to say about that?
I 100% believe it's medical. And I work in the severe side of things. Like, I think any kid that is diagnosed at a very young age you're in the severe side of autism. And my perspective is there's something in the body that's not working. It's not working.
Yeah.
And they have delays and deficits for a reason. And it's because they don't know how to respond to things, or they're missing things, or genetically things are not here. And it's, to me, for young kids, 1000%, it's a medical. And I don't think there's a problem with trying to get your kid to feel better in hopes that they can have a better life moving forward. I want my kid to live independently. That's the minimum. Is I want him to be able to communicate his needs and to be able to live independently or take care of himself. And in order to get there, I have to get his body to feel good and act in a regular way. I mean, their bodies are on fire, and I think it's our responsibility to help their bodies get into control.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can be quirky. They always said, listen, I remember a doctor saying, he can heal. He'll just be a little quirky. His mind will still be a little quirky, but like right now we have to get his body under control. And I do think there's two different sides of this. I think as adults, we're all quirky. Like, we all have different ways of thinking and doing things, but I can still take care of myself. I can still drive myself to work. I can drive my kid to school. Like, I can still perform my daily activities. These severe kids can't do that yet.
Right.
And that's the difference, is like, are they going to be able to grow up and do normal things and take care of themselves and hold a job and have a conversation?
Yeah. Yeah. You are so smart. I didn't think I could like you any more than I already did, but man, I sure do. So, any last words? What else do you want to say about Avery or your family or your experience?
I know this is hard. It's hard every day. I'm at peace with where we're at, but I still get angry. I have my moments where I'm angry. I'm sad. I still cry. Probably once a week. I'm pretty sure I shed a tear. It's a hard journey. It's not easy. It's not meant to be this way. But for some reason, God gave me my son, and I'm supposed to be his mom, and I'm supposed to learn through him. And he has changed. He has changed my life and how I operate in this world, because I had to change for him. And these kids are special. They're brilliant, and they just want love. And just have patience with them. They don't mean to be in the bodies that they are, but it's a long journey, but hang in there. We can do it. We can do it. And just don't give up. Don't give up despite what anyone else says. Don't ever give up. Keep fighting for your kid. And if you need help, reach out. There's a lot of people out there. There's a lot of parents. There's a lot of practitioners. There's a lot of groups. Go visit Taka Now. We are here to help, and we can help in any way. And if you need to reach out to me as a parent, call me. Sometimes I'm up at 1 a.m. with my kids. I can take off the ledge as much as I am able to. But it's worth the fight if I know that he can have a future.
There ought to be a T-shirt that says that.
Yeah.
Well, I think you're amazing. I think your husband and your son are amazing, and I appreciate the trust you have in us at our clinic to help you, and I can't wait to see where he goes. Like,
and by the way, I'm not doing it alone. My husband has stepped up. The pandemic was a blessing to us because he got to see what we went through. He got to see all the therapies, the hard work, and I truly believe that it's the teamwork. Like, he needs us. He needs both of us.
Yeah.
And his dad stepped up. Woo! His dad stepped up. So it's a teamwork. And I always say when we go through things, I'm like, hey, Edward, like, we're on the same team. Just don't forget this. We're on the same team. And I have a wonderful husband that has chose to step up and not ignore what's going on. So it is a team effort. And I want to say that, like, he had trouble at first, but like, it's a team effort. And I am thankful that my son has both parents to fight for him. He needs his daddy. He needs his mom. He needs his daddy too. So, yeah. So parents, try to work together as much as you can. I know it's hard, but it makes a difference in these kids' lives if you can work together and be on the same page, both parents. Yeah.
So good.
Sorry.
You are a wise soul, I tell you. It's Avery is lucky to have both of you guys, and I can't wait to see how he continues to progress in 5 or 10 years. And
I can't wait to update you.
Oh my
gosh, he's gonna do big things. We just gotta stay in it and keep at it and work hard, and I think he's gonna do good things.
Yeah.
Good things. Yeah. I think he's a future.
I love it. It's and having hope is, I think, so important for families who are new to this situation, because a lot of mainstream practitioners make families feel like there's no hope in that diagnosis, and just take him home and love him.
Yeah, no.
And that's not gonna do it. You've got to dig in and figure out what's going wrong with their chemistry so you can fix it so that they can be who they need to be.
Yes. If you find the right practitioner, they will encourage you.
Yeah.
You encouraged me. And if they're not and they tell you just go home, move on.
Move on.
We can find some other practitioners. We got you.
Well, thank you so much for your time. Give Avery a hug and a kiss for me. And I just appreciate all your wisdom and your thoughts about this. And I'm sure there are so many parents out there who are going to have sort of a new shot of hope and strategies because of the things that you had to say.
It was a pleasure. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.